Politics is like a jungle. Power dictates the rules, survival of the fittest, they say, and there's a price for this survival. In Sri Lanka, the president looks ready to pay that price. We are talking about Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He was brought into politics by his elder brother, Mahinda Rajapaksa. Earlier, Mahinda was president. Now he's the prime minister. But he may have to leave. He may be sacked by his own younger brother, Gotabaya. And that's the price I'm talking about, the price for Gotabaya's survival in the presidential office. We got a news flash today. It said Mahinda Rajapaksa will be asked to go. Sri Lanka will have a new prime minister and a new government, an interim government. It's something that has been in the news for a while, also something that has not been officially confirmed, I must note. Tonight on Gravitas, we'll discuss what's buzzing in the power corridors of Colombo. Are the brothers splitting? Is this the end of the Rajapaksa dynasty? And more importantly, will this political churn, what will it mean for Sri Lanka's future? Let's start with today's big headline, the talk of Mahinda Rajapaksa's resignation/dismissal. Is he stepping down? Well, he has not been asked yet. But former president of Sri Lanka, Maithripala Sirisena, says it is going to happen and that the president has agreed to this. But President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's office is now denying all these reports. There was an all-party meeting in Colombo today. It was called by the president. A total of 11 political parties were in attendance. This includes members of the ruling party and the opposition. Why was the meeting called? Because Gotabaya Rajapaksa has been trying to stitch a unity government. Today was his second attempt, and it seems to have worked.
Following a meeting between government political party leaders as well as President Gotabaya Rajapaksa this morning, according to the chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, that is also former President Maithripala Sirisena, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has in fact agreed to form an interim party government, while adding Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa as well as the newly appointed cabinet will promptly be removed before forming this interim party government. Now, this is a big development, provided that over the past few days, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has been assertive in his decision to make sure that he is understood by everyone to not resign here in the country.
How will this unity government function? Some proposals are being considered. One of the ideas is to create a national council. It will have members of all political parties. The national council will replace the cabinet. It will be empowered to take all decisions. Who will lead this national council? Will it be Mahinda Rajapaksa? The big brother is rejecting the president's plans. He won't back a unity government and he refuses to step down. I have some of his recent statements with me. Allow me to quote. What use of interim governments when people with varying policies can't see eye to eye? Well, he's got a point. There has to be accord, which is not possible. If there is a need for an interim government, it should happen only under my leadership. What about the massive protests in Sri Lanka? The growing calls for his resignation. Well, this is what Mahinda Rajapaksa had to say about that. And I'm quoting again, this is not the first time though. There have been protests earlier against me as well. People have the right to voice against me, but when an election approaches, the people will vote for us because we have delivered over the years. Once again, the brothers are at odds. Yesterday, we told you how the Rajapaksas are divided. They could not agree on a cabinet. Mahinda Rajapaksa wanted experience. Gotabaya overruled him. He inducted younger faces. The president has not asked the prime minister to quit yet, but he is under intense pressure to do so, and the constitution of Sri Lanka allows him to do so, to dismiss the prime minister. In fact, it was Mahinda Rajapaksa who gave this power to his brother. He pushed that bill himself in 2020. Now the same brother could fire him. So what are the prime minister's options? Mahinda Rajapaksa is planning a constitutional amendment. An amendment to abolish the executive presidency, meaning it will take away the sweeping powers of the president. A subcommittee has been set up to plan this amendment, but does Mahinda Rajapaksa have the time to push this constitutional amendment? The clock is ticking. Anti-government protests are getting bigger in Sri Lanka. People have been on the streets for over a month now, and trade unions have joined them. They've given 7 days to the government, and they threaten to shut down Sri Lanka again if their demands are not met. Yesterday, nearly 1,000 trade unions staged a strike. The entire country came to a standstill. It could happen again. The Rajapaksas have lost support of the powerful Buddhist monks too. Even they want the brothers to go. A senior monk issued a statement. He said Sri Lanka has become a failed state, his words, failed state. And this is the biggest of all setbacks, this loss of support from the Buddhist clergy. The Rajapaksas are cornered and isolated, and now they're also divided, fighting each other. Both the president and the prime minister are trying to hold on to power. We're waiting to see which brother wins. But we can safely say that Sri Lankans will be the losers, because this has become a battle for power now, not one to rescue Sri Lanka from the acute crisis it's in. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.